Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our Apogee Advantage webinar series. I'm Ashley Chapman. I'm the marketing manager here at Apogee. And today we have our friends over at Hiscox who will be presenting on our Hiscox Now Small Business Program. So today we have Chris. He'll go through the portal, talk about key points that Hiscox and Apogee can help you with for your insureds, your policyholders, your clients. And we're excited to help you. So without further ado, here's Chris.
Hey, thanks, Ashley. Hey, everybody, how you doing today? Chris Lise here with Hiscox USA. We're really excited to be longtime partners with Apogee and all the retail agents. So really glad you could join us today. Um, the sound is not good at all. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Um, just double checking. I saw a note there. Um, but Ashley, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you
Okay, cool.
perfectly fine. Is anybody else having issues? If so, you can drop it in the chat. We'll
Okay,
check.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, a few other folks say, yeah, they can hear it clearly. All right, good deal.
Okay. Lizette, if you want to maybe hop out and then hop back in or restart, refresh, that might help as well.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to share my screen. We'll walk through just a quick PowerPoint presentation, but more importantly, I actually want to walk into the and show you the portal, see what it looks like to quote a couple policies with Hiscox USA. All right. So let's get started. So we have four product lines, right? We've got our BOP, we've got our general liability, we have cyber, and the professional liability. It's all in the same place. And I think you're going to see how quick and simple our product is. So this is our 30-second elevator pitch, right? Broad appetite, like we literally almost have 500 classes. And I'm going to walk you through, okay, how do I know if something's eligible or not from an appetite perspective? We've got a very simple appetite guide that we can walk you through there. Up to 5 million in revenues. If it's north of that, if you're quoting in our system, the system would either possibly decline it or say, hey, additional information needed, and it would get referred. So we're really talking about small business, smaller entities, new in business, maybe up to 5 employees max. If you're looking for artisan contractors, we can go up to 1.5 on the revenue side. But we do take new ventures, right? The beauty of our portal is that it's instant biting. You can quote on the spot. So whether you can select all the lines that you want up front. Let's say you want the GL, you want the E&O, you want the cyber. You select the lines. You can go through the quoting process, and right on the spot, you're going to get the premium opportunity, and you can bind it right on the spot in the system. all of our all of our policies are direct bill, all the policies, and they're all auto renewal. We don't need any additional apps. There's none of that. So it's a very turnkey process, and you'll get an indication as to, like, do you want to do the card on file, do you want to do monthly, quarterly, what have you, but it's all set up there. And we have our own service team. They're all licensed, they're all available to provide support, and I'll show you a couple cool ways that you can connect with our service team, whether it's the click to chat with us feature, or you can call in. And we have Saturday and weekend hours as well. So our team is around the clock supporting all of your customers. So we really want it to be as turnkey and as low touch as possible. And of course, more importantly, we are A rated. So you have the full trust and the backing that Hiscox is going to be here. We cover claims, and we're going to be there to respond for your team. Again, you have monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and annual payment plans. You can set it up directly in the portal. Should you ever want to make any changes in the future, you would have to call our team. They always want to confirm. Sometimes mistakes can happen or whatever it is, but they want to speak with the actual agent or the customer to confirm for a fact, hey, did you want to make this change? But our team is available around the clock. Um, so far, are there any initial questions or any? That's probably straightforward, but just wanted to stop and just pause if there were any questions on that so far. If not, I'll keep going. Awesome. All right, so we again 480 classes, but these are the big industries that we specialize in, right? So you've got some white collar opportunity, a lot of consulting classes, IT classes as well, and also we have quite a few contractor classes. A lot of think when we say contractors for us, in the blue collar sense, think your smaller artisans. They're the ones that are actually doing the work, not general contractors, but think of the person that's actually getting contracted to go do the painting, to go do the home remodel. So when we say artisans, that's really what we're talking about there. A lot of landscape janitorial opportunities as well. And again, as long as we're under 5 million of revenue, we are in good shape. So there's a lot of stuff on the screen. Don't worry, I'm going to send this to you. Ashley has this, and we will make sure that you get this. So this is just a good snapshot of what have we written lately from a quarter over quarter perspective. These are the classes that we are we have great rates, we're profitable, awesome retention, great loss ratio, and we feel very confident that we are a good market for these customers. And we write a ton of them with a really great quote to bind ratio. So if you quote it, we can bind it. So there's some good overlap. There are some that are only going to be a fit for BOP, but maybe not the GL and vice versa. But for E&O and cyber, which is probably what I'm thinking, there's a good chance you guys are going to be doing a lot of quoting of. We've got a really great opportunity to quote a lot of those policies as well. Um, Wanted to pause if there was any questions on that. If not, I can keep chiming in. And again, I'm gonna demonstrate and show you where to find the appetite guide should you want to kind of like look through and do a little deeper dive. So on our BOP, you'll notice here in the map, the state of Florida, Alaska. There are a couple in I think that's Ohio, West Virginia. I think that's Iowa and Washington State are not available for the BOP. But wherever you see red, we're good to go. Um, with our BOP, the one distinction I did want to call out, I kind of call it a skinny BOP. So when I say skinny BOP, what I mean is this: we don't cover the building on our BOP, right? So out the gate, I did want to put out that distinction, but we do go up to 250,000 of business personal property on the BOP. So that's the only thing that I would say is probably different than most other BOPs. We do plan to bring back building, but we had to make sure that we were rate adequate over the last couple of years. We took a step back on property. So at this very moment, we are not writing the building. However, in future state, at some point, we do anticipate bringing back on the building coverage. But if you are small, new in business, you just opened up your shop or your business, we do go up to 250,000 for business personal property. So that's a pretty big deal. We do have your traditional 2 million occurrence, or you can go up to 2 million occurrence limit. So you can do a 2-1 split with 2 in your aggregate, 1 million per occurrence. Square footage cap at 35,000. Off premise personal property, you can go up to 25,000. Business interruption coverage at 10,000. And our premiums are really low. So it's really based on the revenue. So the customer's revenue is the main rating basis. So it can be as low as $500 for the year, right? So it's and all of our products are available monoline. So I did want to point that out as well. It's auto renewal. It's admitted ISO. You can do a monoline, and you can add the automatic blanket additional insured on there as well. The GL, pretty similar with the exception that here on the greater 48, we're available everywhere. The only place that the GL is not available is in Alaska. It's the only state. Other than that, we're full game. We can make it happen. All of our products are going to be auto renewal, admitted, and you can write them monoline as well. Our premium there only starts at $350 for the year. And we have the ability to go up to $25,000 in coverage limits. So that's a big distinction. The BOP, you can go up to 250,000. The GL only, you can go up to 25,000, right? So just keep that in mind. And again, think about that new in business, small, they just started, maybe they have a couple employees max, where they don't necessarily have a need for building, but we can always add back some fun coverage pieces there as well. On your E&O professional coverage here, again, coverages countrywide, excluding Alaska here. You're going to get a lot of your traditional bells and whistles features, and deductible options are up to 10,000. So you get to select in the quoting portal what deductible pieces that you want to leverage. And coverage starts at $270 annually there. You can quote this on a monoline basis, and the appetite doesn't necessarily correlate. So it's like they may have like their own pieces that fit. So we might write something for the E&O, but not for the GIA or for the BOP. So just putting that out there as well. I'm also going to show you and demonstrate where you can find the specimen form, and I have that handy as well. Cyber, again, same thing. You have monoline ability. It's admitted auto renewal as well, and we have it's a claims made policy, minimum per claim 250,000, 10-hour waiting period. You can go up to 1 million aggregate limit. You have a lot of different deductible options as well. We have 14-day cancellations available for most classes. Minimum premium $577. And we do have 3 parts to the cyber crime coverage: funds transfer fraud, social engineering, and reverse social engineering. We have our own awesome claims team as well that is around the clock and available. So it's very strategic and very streamlined. So if and when you do need to get to processing claims. These next slides, so this is more of our resource center, where you can, which again, I'm going to demonstrate and show you once you're in the portal, everything that you see here is going to be at your fingertips. So our appetite guide, our webinar series. So the webinars will let you do a deeper dive. We just did like a super quick high level, just so you know, hey, we have the products, they're all admitted. You can write them individually. You can quote them right in the portal. But if the webinars are a great piece, we have a 20-minute video for each line of business. They'll go into a lot more of the granular details at the underwriting level. I'll show you where you can find the specimen form so you can actually read the policy language. And a lot of everything that here's at your fingertips once you're in the quoting portal. And then there's also an opportunity, even if you weren't logged into the portal, where you can do changes or request and manage the policy. So these items here in the middle of the screen are available where you can do it right on the spot. You can request that change. There are other items where they're going to request that you call in. We're going to want to speak with you to go through those specific changes. And we have our 866 number that's available. Another fun feature that can become a really quick cheat sheet, if you will, there's a little icon right here. This red icon is usually down here in the bottom corner. When you click on this icon, this whole box pops up. This is monitored by our licensed personnel in our service team. So it's not like some AI tool. This is actually a person. So when you click on this, you're going to actually be speaking with one of our licensed representatives and not some AI chat tool. So this is a great place to come to if you have on the spot, you're talking to your customer, you have an on the spot appetite question, or you need something on the fly. This is the best place to come to. In addition to leveraging our 866 number, where you can actually, if you actually want to speak with somebody directly, you can do that there as well. Let me stop sharing for just 1 second. And all right, give me 1 second. Oh no, I have to come off camera just for 1 second because it's trying to recognize my face to get in. I apologize, folks. 1 sec. All righty. Let me reshare my screen. Okay, so once you get your login, hopefully you already have a login. If you don't, you can connect with Ashley and we can get you squared away. But once you are logged in, this is what the portal is going to look like. So up top, you're going to notice you can always come back to home. You have a tab where you can look at recent quotes. You have a tab for existing policies. If you need any certificates, claims, and then you also have an ability to come down here and look at more resources. You want your appetite guide. If you want to manage your policies. I've already have it open, but if you click and more, it's going to open up here. This was that link that I was showing you. So right within the portal, you have a couple things. You can get your certificate. You can make any policy changes right on the spot. These right here, you would need to call in, right? And remember, I was talking about that little handy piece there. If you open that up, chat with us. This is going to be somebody live on the team that can help out. So let me close out of that real quick. You also have the appetite guide. How did I find that? If you come over here under resources on your main page, under resources and more, access the appetite guide. You can look at your webinars here. If even if you needed a quote demo, although I'm pretty sure you'll be able to knock out a quote in less than 5 minutes. But everything's right here at your fingertips. So right from the resources, you're going to have the specimen forms all here at your fingertips, the appetite guide. Once you open up the appetite guide, you'll be able to look at all the different industries and just navigate through. You can click them all open, and then you can you click whichever one you need, and it'll tell you, hey, these are the product lines that are available. So for pet training, we have the cyber available. And again, you can go on and really deep dive as to what you're looking for specifically, or when in doubt, just click the link and actually you can connect with our personnel or call in. If you go to the webinar links, this is a 20-minute video by line. So this is going to be your deep dive opportunity there where you can really go in, get an overview as well, appetite guide, any FAQs, and under the specimen forms, like I mentioned. So if you go to the specimen forms, that's what I already have open. So for you, I clicked on professional liability and cyber. I have it open. You have this at your fingertips. So once you're logged in, you'll have access to all of our policies, and you can have that. You can digest that. You can talk to underwriting as well. And so again, this is all right here at your fingertips. But I think what we care more than anything, right, is hey, so how do we quote something? All right, so you begin here with your zip code, and then you can start with a quote. So for this case, I'm just going to mock up a dummy quote here. I'm putting in my own zip code. And what do we do? I'm a business consultant. All right, so it gives you a couple options here. Right, so the second you start typing, it's going to give you what you're looking for. And if it meets your needs, then you continue. I'm an LLC. When do I want coverage to begin? Tomorrow. So this is going to be where you get an opportunity to add on what you want to quote. So for me, I definitely want to quote the GL because it's our biggest line of business where we get the most business. I also want to quote the professional, and I want to quote the cyber. You notice these options here in red, right? So for the professional, it's going to give you a drop down of the main pieces that it's covering. It's going to show you the appetite guide as well. So when in doubt, if you want, you can right click that and open that in a new window. And again, it's going to walk you through for the industries if you needed. So that's another way, even from while you're quoting, that you can go in there. That's how you're able to pull the specimen form as well. But I've already clicked on professional and cyber. I want you to kind of get oriented to the question sets that you're going to see. I'm just going to make up a name. Johnson. 703. So this is literally just a dummy quote. Put in all their information. They've been in business for just a year. All right. No DBAs. There used to be applications we used to use to guide us on what questions we would need to quote. Are they available anywhere? That's a good call out. Let me see what I can find to be able to get that for you, so that way when you're talking to your customers, you can at least know what questions you're going to need up front. So that's another. So the other thing that you can do as well when you do a quote, you can always save it and download it as a PDF, because it's going to literally have. So essentially, there's two ways around that. Number one, once you go through a full quote, you're going to be able to download the quote and actually see every single question that was asked. So if you save that, then you can kind of have that handy. But to your point, I want to see about getting you all the handy questions up front, and the questions, the sets that you can ask. They're going to be a little bit different questions: GL versus professional versus cyber, and you're going to see those come through. So this right here kind of gives you an order of the questions that you still have remaining to put through. So I'm just gonna throw in an address real quick. I'm not adding any other locations, and I say I work from home. So it's going to start off with the professional questions, followed by the GL questions, followed by the cyber. So we already have the basics of the profile, but now you're going to get into question sets that you're going to need. So if you're ever doing E&O, these are going to be questions that you can expect to ask your customer. Do we implement measures to manage risks such as? Nope, I do not. What percentage of your expected gross sales will come from your largest customer? Say 20%. Do I provide any of these types of services? Check all that apply. They're not necessarily knockout questions per se, but they just might trigger an underwriting review. For me, I'm just to get through the quote, I'm going to say none of the above. Expected annual revenue, expected revenues. I don't know. Let's say 800,000. Let's see. Let's go with 2 million. Up that to 1,000. Blanket AI is already included, no extra charge. Um, the customer may not want these, but depending on the kind of contract that they are trying to get, the folks who do the contracts may want them to have waiver of subrogation. So just for the quote sake, I'm just going to include it all, because why not? So now we're getting into the GL questions. All right. Nope, I don't manufacture any of those. Does your business perform any design? Nope. Yes. How many owners are there in your company? One. Um, what is your employee payroll? Next, let's say 200 grand. How many employees are there in your company? Uh, Other than me, let's just say 3. Does your business provide any of the following services? None of the above. That was a great question, by the way. If anybody else has any questions, please chime in as well. You're welcome to put that in the chat as well. So I'm sure this is nothing that surprised any of you. It's pretty straight to the point. Deductibles. Terrorism include, blankets already in there. Business property and equipment include, right? And then this is where it shows you your limits available. So remember, this is the GL, so you go up to 25K. The BOP, remember, goes up to 250K in BPP. Hard and unknown, let's include that. Waiver subrogation, primary non-contributory. Again, they probably don't I see that more for like contractors, but just for devil's advocate's sake, let's go ahead and include that. Yeah, roofing contractors would not be one. Think of more like they're going into the dwelling, so like anything like plumbing, HVAC, things of that nature. For your harder, um, you know, roof with the heights exposure, things of that nature, that those would not be a fit. And not for general contractors either. No more than like minimum payroll. But once like GCs are not really fit. Think of the specialists, the folks that are going to be doing the work. But roofing, and that's that question right there so far. And by the way, all the questions you have right here in this chat feature, once you're in the system, if you're like, oh man, I meant to ask that, but now I don't know. You're always welcome. So keep the questions coming. But once you're live in the system, this chat with us function is going to be your best friend. So no roofer, sorry. Including yourself. Do not include subjects. With myself, do you have any annual training? Yes. Okay. I'm just throwing bogus numbers, so it just so you can get used to what the system looks like. Now we're at the cyber limits. All right. So including terrorism, media liability, and now it should be rating up and getting us our quote. So this is going to be 474 for the year. That's all for all three lines. It's going to show you first the professional, the portion that it makes up, everything that was included. You can always go back and change something, right? So anywhere you see a drop down that's available, that's an option for you to go back and make any changes if you want. Or you can just remove it altogether. The cyber for this case is like $93 a month or $1,100 for the year. And then the GL, it's got everything there as I wanted it. You can bind the policy. You can download the quote PDF. So again, when you download that, it's going to have all the question sets as well. Okay. And if you were to go ahead and bind the policy, that's when you're going to put in all the payment information. So this email, you don't want to put your email. You want to put the customer, whoever is going to be paying for that policy. You want to put their information, their phone number, their email, and then you go ahead and process that, right? So you've got those different options there. But that's pretty much, uh, you know, the quote experience. And you'll notice, like I said, it'll be much faster if you're just quoting one line. But I would recommend, if you anticipate that you're going to quote the professional, the cyber, and the GL, we're big fans of the multi-line opportunity. I would definitely, as you saw, that didn't take not even 10 minutes. So when in doubt, you can leverage the chat with us feature here. And don't forget, you have the appetite guide. You have your resource guide. These webinars actually are really cool. So I won't play it here, but if you really focus on a specific niche or a line of business that is your go-to in your agency, definitely check those out. Yeah, so in this case, yes, they would be separate quotes. It's just that, let me go back. So if you recall at the very beginning, so they are separate quotes. So it's not one policy. So it's a separate policy for the GL. So it's just for this experience, I put them all together. But yeah, they would be separate quotes, and you can always go back and change the limit. So let's say you want to show your customer just a professional, and you want to show them two different limits. You can do that as well. The revenue max would be 5 million for our program. If you were, and the other thing that you'll notice too, from let's say you have like you're trying to quote and you're putting on a lot more business property. Yeah, so the maximum limits are, you're going to be able to see them in the drop downs. So 5 million in aggregate as well. It's all available at your fingertips. Again, you can control. Now there's something to consider. So once something gets greater than $10,000 in premium, that we're starting to see, or it's got more complexity. If they're requesting bigger limits, chances are it's going to push that premium. If the revenues are higher and you're requesting higher limits than like a than you might necessarily need for somebody who's new in business, the once the premium gets over 10,000 in premium, that would probably trigger a referral, not a declination, but a referral. So just think about, we're looking at minimum premium, really small accounts, folks that, and again, because this is more of a digital platform that's like supposed to be turnkey, right? So, the system is underwriting, but we have an underwriting team in the back end that's quadruple checking, making sure that everything is. So, once something gets to a certain size and scope that it's probably needs more attention, we have our traded team that looks at things, but that's more on the E&S side. Everything we're talking about in this platform is admitted, right? So for this platform, recall, we're not going to be a market for E&S. Hiscox does have a huge channel through Apogee with our E&S folks, but for this portal specifically, think admitted. It's got to be super quick, super fast, very simple. Usually less complex, and so as long as you kind of stay under those guidelines, if it's under 10,000 in premium, you're going to be able to see what the limits are, and then you have those opportunities. And again, right here you can create a comparison quote, and that gives you an opportunity so you can kind of show your customer a few different pieces as well. So it keeps that one, and then you have the quote reference ID. So if you ever have a question for underwriting, you can send anything to partner contact. Yeah, so we have an underwriting team. It's not necessarily a one underwriter per se, but what I can do here is in the chat, I can put the email address that you would send any questions to. So once you have a quote ID, and let's say it's referred to underwriting, you're going to send partner contact at hiscox.com. So I just put in the chat, this is the email inbox. This is our service team, and they also connect with our underwriters as well. So should you have a referral and you have your reference number, you would put your reference number in the subject line and say, hey, following up on a quote for ABC company, just double checking to see if there was anything else needed to get this one rectified. But partner contact at Hiscox is going to be a great one-stop shop to follow up on things. Let's say, like I said before, if you're trying to make any policy changes or what have you in the system, there's a lot of things you can do online, but then you can also send an email. Thanks, Ashley. I appreciate that. Yeah, so you have, again, they're completely separate. So like, yes, you can quote for different lines based off of what your customer needs. The turnaround, the SLA for approved quotes. So first of all, 9 out of 10 times the system is going to tell you on the spot, right? We have those 480 plus classes of business or such that we already know that we like them. So we have the inclination for you to be ready to bind on the spot. It's just about whether there's a question that underwriter needs. It's probably the scope of the size of the revenue, the size of how much property they're trying to protect, etc. But the turnaround time, once something is referred, is about 24 hours for them to get back to you. But you're like I said, that partner contact at Hiscox, you're welcome to reach out to them, and they should be able to get back to you relatively quickly. And if you need to speak with somebody like on the spot when it comes to like an upfront question, it's not hasn't been referred, but you're talking through appetite and you have some things that you're trying to figure out, that little red icon for the click to chat with us, I'm telling you, that is the fastest way to get support for a fast. Let's say you don't have the time to go through the appetite guide, but you need some help right on the spot. That click to chat with us feature is amazing, and we use it all the time. And again, when in doubt, you can always call the 866 number, and they'll be there to provide support. But that's it in terms of a general um, overview of the four lines of business, how to quote. I would say have some fun, get in there, do some quoting. Should you get hung up anywhere, you're welcome to reach out to our team. Again, we want to make this as seamless as possible. So the click to chat, 866 phone number, those are your great 1-2 punch for getting help there. And when in doubt, you're always welcome to give us a shout, and we're happy to help anytime. So Ashley, I'll kick it back to you, and it's been a pleasure to connect with everybody today. Awesome questions, guys.
Yes, thank you so much, Chris, and thank you everybody for joining. If you have any other questions, like Chris said, you can reach out to that partner contact at hiscox.com email. And also, if you want to reach Apogee directly, you can reach out to info@apogeeinsgroup.com. And if there are any other questions, just reach out and let us know.
Thanks again, everybody. Look forward to seeing your quotes.
Thank you.
You got it. Have a great one, folks.
Mhm.
Take care. Thanks again, Ashley.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. This was very helpful.
Oh yeah, anytime. All right, cool. I'll connect with you thereafter, and then I'll send you any additional
Yes.
slides that you can share with everybody.
All right, perfect. Sounds good. Yeah, this recording will also go out to everybody too. So
All right, fantastic. All
everybody will
right,
have it. Yep.
we'll talk soon. Take
Talk to
care.
you later. Yes,
Bye.
you too. Bye.